creating positive energy and a more positive environment at your office place, at your place of work. One of the top complaints that I get from professionals who come to me for executive coaching services is that the energy in their workplace is negative and they don't know how to deal with that and stay positive and stay focused and stay on task so that they could be successful. So today I'm going to go through, let's see how many I've written down. I think 7 different ways for you to change and increase the positive energy in your office place, no matter how negative everybody else is. Your positivity can shift the energy of the whole place if you do these 7 things. And I'm going to tell them to you in just a second. But first, check and see if you're a subscriber here. And if not, click the subscribe button and the little bell so that you learn when we drop videos like this to help you live an all-around happier and lower stress life. I'll be right back.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
I have in the past worked in very negative office places, and I know how it can change your energy. I know how the night before you have to go there, especially back from a day off or a weekend, it can ruin the second half of that day off. There was one workplace that I worked in, and the people there were so negative that late in the day on Sundays, I would just start to feel, it was almost like feeling a balloon slowly emptying itself, leaking out. I would just feel myself drift down into like a place of more negative energy. And it really ruined the present moment that I had then. I was allowing it to ruin the present moment that I had then. I just didn't want to go there the next day. I didn't want to go there. I liked the work I was doing. I was good at the function that I served in that place, but it was the place itself was it was almost like the place had a sickness, this negativity sickness. But I learned how to turn it around for myself. And this was years ago, this was decades ago. And I know negativity still impacts workplaces today because I talk to professionals in workplaces and I take them through these 7 things that I implemented in my life so that I could feel a change in my energy. I wouldn't experience that Sunday drawdown really, or the Sunday blues is really what they call it, but but these are the 7 things that I implemented for myself so that I could shift my energy and focus on my energy being as high as possible instead of everybody else's energy being whatever they were going to let it be. Okay, so get ready. If you take notes, then that's fantastic. If you'd like to take notes, but you don't have a way to, open up the comments and you can just type them in there or type them in there. Okay, so number 1, don't be too hard on yourself. I'm very hard on myself. I have like really high aspirations and I kind of beat myself up, have a tendency to beat myself up if I don't reach these high aspirations ahead of schedule. That's my natural tendency. So I have to check myself and set realistic goals for myself. If you're being too hard on yourself, that is a negative energy that you're emanating and you're contributing to the negative energy of others around you. Okay, so our energies impact each other. And we can prove this. If somebody who's really happy walks up to you and you're in a bad mood, it might actually feel a little annoying because it's so different from your energy. Or if you're in a really great mood and somebody who's not walks up, you might want to be like, get away from me, or let me get away from this, or, let me shift. If I can't help make it better, I better get out, right? Okay, so same thing. If we're being too hard on ourselves, we're beating ourselves up, then we are contributing to the negative energy all around us. So don't do that. Set realistic goals, realistic timelines. You can set lofty aspirations, but benchmark it so that you're not beating yourself up if you're not quite as far along as you originally would have had yourself if a magic wand were to work. All right, number 2, and I talked about this in our last video last Monday. The last video that dropped of mine was about how to create more positive energy in your home. And one of the first points was declutter. Don't have a cluttered desk. I've walked in and seen people with stuff just stacked up and they're like, I know where everything is. That's great, but you'd also know where everything was if it was actually organized in a closet or in some sort of a framework, some sort of a filing system. This is crazy town. Crazy town. I tell professionals who I work with that they should keep a filing system that's so simplified that if someone else would need to step into their job tomorrow, they wouldn't need any explanation. And all those piles, that's not what that is. Declutter. It'll make it better. When you need some of that clutter, come out, bring it out, put it over your desk, work on it, put it up, and put it away. No clutter. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Gone. All right. Number 3, take breaks. Take breaks. Do you remember back in school when you were little? Let's go back to like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. You were young. Do you remember and you'd like really just want a break? Like, and your mind would be wandering, your teacher would be talking about math or something, and you'd be like, oh, and the teacher would call on you and you're like, I'm paying attention, I'm here. But your mind is just like, please, just 5 minutes. Give yourself that break. You don't have a teacher going, no anymore. I mean, if you have a boss like that, let's get with me. Let's get you a new job. So be an adult, take breaks. If you have a boss who doesn't want you to take a break, can't keep you from going to the bathroom, right? So take breaks, really give your mind that moment to rejuvenate itself. Give your mind that moment to take a breath. It's like stepping outside going, that's nice. That feels good when you do that, especially fresh air outside in a fresh air environment. Do that for your brain. Step away from the screens. Don't take this thing with you on your break. Step away. Give your mind a moment to just breathe and just be. All right, so take breaks. That's number 3. Number 4, meditate. Whether you meditate on your breaks at work or whether you meditate at another time, it doesn't matter. And here's what I mean by meditation. All I want is for you to not be distracted for anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. It's not long. I'd love it if you go for 10, but we have a whole playlist here of little mini meditations and affirmation sessions and things like that. You can play it in the background if your mind's too busy and you need something to help you calm. But what you're doing, it's the same thing as going to the gym and working out your biceps. It's the same thing as doing an aerobics class. You're working out your body. When you're working out your mind all the time and your mind needs a break. So if you are someone like me who likes to work out, sometime when you're going really, really, really hard, like in a cardio or HIIT class, something like that, sometimes your body's like, okay, I've reached my peak, and you just have to slow down. You keep moving a little bit, just because that's the healthy thing to do, but you've got to slow down, take it down a notch to give your body just a minute to get to where it's like, okay, I can go again. Right? So that's what meditation does for your brain, but it is that training. It helps you be resilient. It's the training for a resilient mind. When you meditate, I want you to close your eyes, sit comfortably. Hopefully, you can sit up straight. Close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Literally, we'll do 3 breaths here together. Mini meditation right here in the middle of this video. If you can. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. All right, close your eyes. Deep breath in through your nose down to your lower belly. Hold it at the top and slowly release. If you are in transit, you can do these breaths. Deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. Breathe out. When I breathe out, I like to make a shh noise. Some people just like to breathe out through their nose. It's fine. Either way. One more. Deep breath in. And out. Just that breathing helps to calm your central nervous system. But if you are able to sit with your eyes closed and breathe like that and tell yourself, okay, deep breath in, focus on how it feels as it's going in through your nose. You'll notice how it feels when it hits the back of your throat. You'll notice how your clothing shifts on your body a little bit as your chest expands. And I'm hoping that when you take these deep breaths, you're not taking a deep breath and your shoulders go up, 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 up. No, like that is a stress breath response. That means you're only using the very, very top of your lungs. I want you to breathe. That's why I say breathe into your belly. Can you actually breathe into your belly? No, it's your belly. Your lungs don't go down that far. But if you think about directing the breath that far down, then you can fill the whole of your lungs. I want your chest cavity to expand like this when you're breathing. All right, so meditate. Meditate in the morning, meditate in the evening. It's a great thing to do it's a great thing to implement into your morning routine, like to do as you're waking up. It's a great way to decompress from the day and prepare yourself for sleep at the end. I like to do it at lunch too. Whatever. All right, so that's number 4. Number 5, implement rewards for yourself. And I don't mean like, oh, get a cupcake, whatever a reward would mean for you. Sometimes my reward is, you know what? I'm going to go on a second walk with my dogs. And it's going to be long and I'm not going to do a power walk and I'm just going to enjoy nature. Sometimes it's, I'm going to lay flat on my back and do a flat back meditation. It feels so good to lay flat on my back on the floor, just to straighten everything out, allow it to decompress, takes all that gravitational pull energy that's up, down, out for a moment, and just lay down. You know, I love treating myself in ways that's super luxurious to me, like treating myself in ways that make my body feel better. So you can treat yourself with food. I just don't want that to be your default treat because we're not dogs, right? We treat dogs with food. We shouldn't only treat us with food. We also treat dogs with scratches and stuff. But yeah, very important to think of different types of rewards. And nothing that I just mentioned costs a dime. Food does. That cupcake's going to run you $3 to $6 depending upon where you go buy it. But laying down on the floor for a couple of minutes, closing your eyes, putting your hand at your heart center, maybe one hand on your lower belly, and just like feeling your body change as you breathe. It's so calming. It's so luxurious. So nice. So try that. Okay. What are we on? Number 6, be courteous. Being courteous to other people increases your vibe, even if they're jerks. Be courteous. Just because that person's a jerk doesn't mean that you need to lower yourself. If you match that person's energy, you just lost your zen, my friend. So you match your own energy. You match your own ideal energy, and you will be courteous because you'll be honoring of yourself, which in turn makes you honoring of others. Somebody the other day said to me, that person doesn't deserve our respect. And I'm like, no, but I do. I deserve respectful and honoring behavior. And if I'm acting in a way that's not respectful and honoring, then I'm hurting me, not them. I'm hurting me. Be courteous to others because you are loving yourself through your actions. Because if it's coming out of you, it's in there. So if you're being nasty, you're nasty. If you're being kind, you're kind. Be courteous. And number 7, be grateful. When I was back in that toxic workplace, and I'm telling you, y'all, it was toxic. People were talking about each other. There was like sabotage. It was like a soap opera in there. It was horrible. Felt like I was on my own private telenovela. Plus the building was old and it had mold in it, and I'm allergic to mold. So as soon as I would go in there, my sinuses would just fill. I mean, not only was it emotionally draining, but it was physically draining because the air was actually poisonous for me when I was in there. Actually, that environment, I started getting a work from home or a hybrid work way before. We're talking like more than a decade ago. I got a hybrid work agreement because I could actually prove that the office place was making me sick. It was really, really bad. But at the end of every day, whether I was working there, whether I was working from my home, whether I was working from a remote location, sometimes I would work from the park. It just depends on where I was doing my work. I would practice gratitude. I would say, I'm so happy and grateful for this chance to earn. I'm so happy and grateful for this opportunity to serve my family, to serve myself, to use my talents. I'm so happy and grateful. And I ask that more of that energy comes back to me and to this workplace as a whole tomorrow, to everyone in here. even the nasty folks, because they need it. When you practice gratitude, I promise that energy is going to come back to you. That's 7 solid ways to turn your negative workplace into a positive workplace and infuse it with positive energy. And if you don't have a negative workplace, you're going to make it even better. If this video helped you at all, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you learn when we drop videos like this to help you live a happier and more successful life. I'll see you next time.